is it not an insult to half the American public who voted for Trump when you're talking about Trump being a Nazi?
Those words never came out of my mouth. That is not true, what you just said. Here is what I will say. I think it was important to talk about the destruction of a constitutional republic.
By implication, and about as direct as he could say it without actually saying it directly, he accused those of us on this side of the aisle of being Nazis. I want to point out a few things. There is no caucus in this House that has been more supportive of Israel through resolution and comments on the floor than the House Republican caucus. We've issued resolutions, we've proposed resolutions supporting the nation of Israel. Not to find a point on it, we are part of Team Jew. We support Israel. We don't see any Democrat co-sponsors on those resolutions. And for him to imply that just because there's a sitting president who ran on the same side of the ballot as we did, somehow we're painted with the same autocratic and absolutely fascistic type of attitudes that led to what happened in Europe in 1940s. This is ridiculous. It did us no service. It was small. It was very small of him to say that. But for him to yesterday stand up and by implication say that autocrats are taking over this country and putting us in that same boat is wrong. And this is a guy who should know, because what was it during COVID? 40-some consecutive disaster declarations, ruling by executive order for 1,170-some days of his first 1,552 days in office. His actions during COVID were nothing short of autocratic. And for him to say the word that autocracy is on the loose in this country, he should know. His actions during COVID were nothing short of autocratic. And for him to say that in the face of what we have been exposed to or were exposed to during that time is an insult to me, it's an insult to the people in my caucus, and it's an insult to everybody who listened to this speech yesterday. I think the governor should apologize to us on many levels, but to accuse us of anti-Semitism by being implied Nazis is absolutely out of line, and he deserves complete scorn for what he said, and I, for one, will demand an apology.
As a Jewish American, as a Jewish member of the General Assembly, who represents one of the largest Jewish communities in the entire state of Illinois, I have spent the last year and a half with my life dominated by the rise of anti-Semitism. Among the most pernicious forms of anti-Semitism is conflating the actions of the government of Israel with Jewish Americans. Jewish Americans are diverse. We have a range of opinions about the state of Israel. I count myself as a supporter of a state of Israel. But when you say on the floor, you support Israel and that makes you Team Jew, you are engaging in among the most pernicious forms of anti-Semitism that exists. Yes, you are. You don't know what you're talking about.
There's a lot that I could say in this moment. But one thing I just want to make abundantly clear is you have no right to use my pain or the pain of our community to score political points. You have no right. We can have disagreements. We can disagree respectfully. But what you said this morning, Representative, was none of those things. You know, all of us come to this place with our own lived experience. And I have felt the pain of being a Jewish American, an Asian American. Throughout my time here, I have been very careful to listen and to understand the experiences of others. But you don't get to stand up here and claim to know the pain that I feel or the pain of my community to lecture me about how I should feel about it.